I am 28 years old and I am in $40,722 in debt.
How the f does this degenerate make so much money?
I really ruined myself financially.
Welcome to the Audit Room. We analyze real financial decisions from real people. We discuss what went wrong and then provide valuable feedback and insights that we can all learn from. With that being said, let's get into the video. This first clip is a crazy one. This guy makes a ton of money, like $60,000. But as you're gonna see, just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you can't be financially irresponsible.
How the f does this degenerate make so much money? How does he do so well? How do you afford a Ferrari? You just moved to Miami. You're doing all this crazy.
I do spend a lot of my money. In terms of my peers around me, I definitely spend more of my income than them. Like I know other people probably save their money, but the problem is I've had such solid cash flow for literally 5 years and it's ruined my idea of saving money to me. For 5 years, bro, I've had fantastic amount of cash flow that I'm so grateful for. Every month I'm spending 30, 40 grand, but I'm still making 60, 70, $80,000 or $100,000.
So if what he's saying is true, he's making over $60,000 a month, but he's also spending $40,000 a month. Now, the main point I want to drive home with this one is that high income streams can sometimes be extremely volatile, meaning that they can leave just as fast as they came. And if he's used to spending $40,000 a month when he's making $60,000 a month, the biggest problem is if that income stream ever dries up, or heck, even if he just starts making $40,000 a month, he is going to be completely broke. Even though he's driving a Ferrari, even though he's partying Miami, this is one of the biggest problems, a lot of rich people have. Football players, you see it all the time, people who win the lottery. It doesn't matter how much money you have or how much money you earn. If you spend that amount or more, you will go broke. Being broke does not discriminate based on how much money you have. Okay, this next clip is from a guy who made some financial decisions in his 20s that he completely regrets, and he's sharing how that's affecting him now that he's in his 30s.
I really ruined myself financially in my 20s. Here's why. In my 20s, I had, oh God, do I have some poke bowl sauce on my beard? Anyways, in my 20s, I really had no concept of personal finance. I thought that my main goal was to increase my salary and I would be okay. Needless to say, I was a bit of a dumbass. There was a point, I think in my 20s, my savings, like my total savings. Luckily, I was good with contributing to my 401k because my mom kept getting on my case about it. I was like, oh, fine, fuck it, I'll put money into my 401k. But that was actually really good because that was one good financial habit that I did do. So long story short is I had savings, my career was going up, I made more money. But my spending also went up, so this is mistake number 2 is lifestyle creep. Mistake number 1 is not actually saving enough money or just keeping my savings at a set amount. So by the time I became 27, I wanted to start my own business because I was tired of corporate America. I want to be free, all this shit. I actually ended up at 44K in debt, and then from 2019, now I'm in my 30s, right? I spent around 2 years just paying off that debt. So that's mistake number 3, if I'm counting correctly. It's getting into heavy debt. And to this day, like my net worth is, I'm not going to reveal it on this channel or on this account, but I'm definitely a few $100,000 below what it could have been had I been a lot more smart in my 20s. Like I'm not going to cry over not investing and buying Bitcoin when it was a few $100s each or $1,000 each, like in 2016 or 2015. But I will say that I made a lot of dumb financial mistakes in my 20s. Luckily, the good thing that I did do was I did max out my 401k, which has had pretty good returns at this moment. You never know. But at least I did that right. But to really recap, I got into heavy debt. I didn't save past a certain fixed amount. I also had lifestyle creep. These are 3 things that I would say if you're younger or even right now, if you're in your 30s or 40s, don't fall into that trap because you could be actually giving up hundreds of thousands of dollars down the road. So learn from my mistakes. Sometimes, honestly, I just feel this pressure in life because I'm not where I want to be financially. That's more of a mindset thing. But I would also say in my 20s, I did kind of mess up a little bit and learn from my mistakes and, don't repeat them. And you will be in a much better financial position in your 30s versus where I am right.
I really commend this man for going on the internet and sharing his mistakes for the sole purpose of helping somebody that's younger than him so they don't fall into the same trap. It's an awesome world that we can live in right now where just everybody can share their off-the-cuff experiences on TikTok or whatever. It's so easy, and there's so many people out there where we can learn from them. Whether we learn from people's success stories or we learn from people's failures. There's so many different stories and information that we can compare our own lives to make an informed decision about what we should do with our lives. With that being said, a good example to take from what he was saying too is hindsight is always 20/20. We would all be millionaires if we knew what we knew now back in 2012. We would have all bought Bitcoin and we'd all be rich. But that can actually be a pretty bad way to think about things because it can just make you look for that next get rich quick scheme. Like we all saw Bitcoin blow up, so let's look for the next meme coin. It's just way better financial advice to, instead of trying to find the next big thing that's going to pop off quick, it's way easier to put time in the market rather than timing the market. And I know that kind of sounds like, the stereotypical boomer thing to say about investment advice, but it's true. There's so many index funds and stuff out there that you can just, put your money in and you don't have to look at it and you don't have to think about it. And it's so stress-free. And I know he was also talking about his 401k. Well, since he has his 401k maxed out every single year for that time frame because his mom was making him, I am sure he is light years ahead of the average American, even though he had to spend that couple of years paying off that huge debt that he took out to try and start his business. So honestly, he made mistakes and he's sharing that with the internet, but it doesn't sound like he did terrible. Okay, this next one is about a girl who's over $40,000 in debt at the age of 28. Let's hear her story.
I am 28 years old and I am in $40,722 in debt, and I want to talk about it. And before I break down my debt, I just want to say, growing up, my family, we didn't have those money conversations. I didn't have anyone in my life that could teach me, about all these financial things that I'm starting to learn now. But like when I was young and I started getting credit cards, like I didn't know any better. I was so naive. Why did 21-year-old me feel the need to have 7 credit cards? I don't know, but it happened and now I'm here because of it. And I just really want to talk about it. So many people are in debt. They just don't talk about it. So I am here to talk about it, and hopefully this can help someone that is also struggling with the same thing. Here's the breakdown on my debt. And mind you, I don't have a car, so I don't have a car loan or anything. And I don't have a mortgage or anything. So all of my debt is loans, student loans, and credit card debt. To start with my loans, I have an Upstart loan, which is $11,891. And I have a SoFi loan, which is $18,630. And then I have my student loans, which is $8,370. And then for my credit cards, I have a Best Buy credit card that has $1,685 on it. My Chase credit card, which has $145 on it. And then my Apple credit card, which I regret ever getting this card, but I have $4,205 on it. All right, so how did we get here? How did I let this happen? I honestly, starting young with all the credit cards that I had, I just fell into the, rat race and going to stores. It was always, if I saw something I wanted, I just got it. And I was like, I'll just put out my credit card and I'll figure it out later, or I'll pay it off, like whatever it was. And then sometimes I would pay it off. Sometimes I ended up spending too much that I couldn't pay it off. So then it would leave me with a balance. And then I would keep doing that. And then before I knew it, I had such a high balance on my credit card on multiple credit cards, that I then had to take out a loan to pay off those credit cards to consolidate that debt because it was just too overwhelming for me. And I did it all over again. For me, the little purchases here and there, $50 here, $50 there, $100 there, like it adds up. And if you're not tracking and if you're not truly understanding what's coming in and what's going out, you kind of just get lost and you don't even realize. And before you know it, you're in a situation where You don't even understand how you got there, but you know how you got there. And it's not what I just want to say, it's not worth it. The way to be in control is truly track your finances and budget. And my net worth is negative $17,048. You have to face your finances. So every single day I have to look at my debt in the face and be like, all right, we're taking steps towards, clearing this debt.
I really hope that this girl makes the decisions that she needs to make to get back on track and get out of this debt. It's not even the worst debt in the world, but it seems like she continues to make the same mistakes over and over again. And the reason I say that is because she said she had 7 credit cards and she showed us the debt on those credit cards. But one of the loans I also noticed was a SoFi loan, which was $18,000. So basically, this is what I think happened. I think she had a bunch of credit card debt, and then she did what we would call consolidation. So instead of paying the 30% interest on all those credit cards, she got the SoFi loan, which SoFi consolidates debt, but it depends on your credit score and other factors, just like any other loan that you would get in real life. So when I look up, the interest rate of a SoFi loan, it's anywhere from 8% to 35%. So in all reality, if she is consolidating credit card debt with the SoFi loan, it might not be like that much better than the credit card. We might be talking in the 20s percentage of interest rate. Well, just the fact that she consolidated all of her credit card debt at one point, and then now she has those, couple more credit cards, especially the Apple one which had like $4,000. It leads me to believe that since she consolidated the debt in the past, that she would have done all of her credit cards. She wouldn't have just consolidated half of her credit cards and then the other half just paid the balance off on them. So it just leads me to believe that she consolidated all of her credit card loan at one point, which was that $18,000. And then she went ahead and just got more and more credit cards. So like I said, I really hope the best for her. But this is one of those things where you have to live the next couple of your years buying nothing and doing nothing with your money but just paying off the debt if you ever want to get out of that situation. And this will lead people to literally just give up, because it is literally that hard to dedicate the next 5 years of your life to do nothing but work and pay off debt. And I think that's just the most important message of this is you never want to get into that situation, because you become a prisoner to the debt collectors. All right, guys, well, that does it for this video. That's the end, but I do want to make one mention and say that for my first 1,000 subscribers on this channel, I am going to be doing a cash giveaway. So if you want to become eligible for that free cash giveaway, just go ahead and subscribe to my channel and leave a comment and like one of my videos, and you will be eligible for the free cash giveaway. So see you on the next one, and good luck winning that cash.